What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the 6th month, halfway there, so I wanted to show off my hair. As you can see, it's full now. What that look like? Nah, just kidding. This is just fibers. So when I do videos like this, it's gonna be putting hair fibers in. That way I can show you guys how I look when I go outside. But when it's like this, it's good. Even like in harsh light, it doesn't even look that noticeable because the hair is just so full now. The hair fiber just blends in so well. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. If you see my last video, you know I've been out and doing things more often now. I just went to go see Waka Flocka yesterday, and he was lit, very nostalgic. It was like he was playing all the songs. It was crazy, and it was a good time, man. And I just didn't have to worry about my hair or anything like that. So yeah, this is what I look like when I do stuff like that, and I wanted to show you guys that. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew before I got a hair transplant. This is for the peeps that are getting a hair transplant or thinking about getting a hair transplant, or for the people who already got it and did things differently. I wanted to go through like 5 through 1 in that order of 5 being important and 1 being a must know. So let's get into it. Number 5, the difference between American and foreign hair transplants. Growing up, I realized quickly that the cheaper option will often cost you more in the long term. You buy what you need at the highest price for the best quality, that way it will last. While this is a good idea for clothes, tools, and other products like that, it ain't good for everything. The truth is there are amazing hair transplant clinics all over the world, and just because they are cheaper than what they cost in the state does not mean the quality falls short. Oftentimes, the quality is the same or even better. Don't view it as a cheaper option because it's not. It's cheap because of how foreign currency works. So if you go to one of these countries like Turkey, India, South Africa, and you get a procedure done for 2,000 to 6,000 USD for X amount of grafts, it's not the cheaper alternative. It's just how much that procedure is worth in US currency. You can go to one of these countries and pay 2,000 to 6,000 USD and get the best hair transplant ever, or get botched. You can stay in the States and pay 10,000 to 30,000 and you have the best hair transplant ever, or get botched.
Boy, when I say the double work hard but Bosley work harder, this is the only picture I could find of Bosley botched surgery. I got all these Reddit posts and all these forums about how bad Bosley is. Where the pictures at? Where the pictures? Something in the water. Don't get it twisted. You can get botched.
This is why it's really important just to do your research and make sure you can lessen the chance that you actually get botched and actually receive the results that you want. Number 4, the amount of grafts you realistically need. This is something a lot of people don't know about when they first get their hair transplant, including myself. I didn't know too much about it until I started doing more research. I know more about it now. Of course, we understand the concept of taking hairs from the back and putting them into the front, but the amount of grafts you need is definitely something that you want to know to achieve the end result that you're looking for. And not all grafts are the same. Grafts can be 1 hair up to 4 hairs, and some people even have the golden 5 hair graft. Now this is rare and it all depends on your donor, but most people have 1 to 2 grafts more than anything else. Take this chart for example. This chart is a great starting point for where you are on the Norwood scale. Let's take Ben and Alex. Both are Norwood 2 and have noticeable thinning. They decide they want to get a hair transplant. Realistically, both of them want to look for 1,000 to 1,500 grafts for coverage. Coverage means the scalp is covered, but depending on the hair type, it won't be as dense and you'll have some gaps. Dense means the scalp is covered and the hairs are placed close enough together where there's little to no gaps between the hairs. Ben's hair is more straighter, so he wants to go for more density. Ben should go for 1,500 to 2,000 max. Alex's hair is thicker and it curls. He could be fine with just going in the range of 1,000 to 1,500 for coverage and density. He could also go to 2,000 if he wants extra density. These are real general examples because everybody's hair is different. And to be honest, it's not your job to know how many grafts you're supposed to need. It's really the clinic's job. But we've seen clinics can really tell you anything they want to tell you. Without even seeing your hair, they can just say, oh, you need this much. So you want to have a realistic grasp of where you fit on a Norwood scale and how many grafts you realistically need to actually cover what you want to get covered. Because you really don't want number 3 to happen to you. Number 3, what overharvesting really means. This word gets thrown around so much, and I don't think people really understand it has like a double meaning to it. So overharvesting is deemed bad, terrible. Don't let it happen to you. But most people equate it to you getting more grafts taken than you realistically need. So this ties back to the chart that I showed. For example, if you're a Norwood 3, you're looking for 1,500 to 3,000 grafts for good coverage and good density. However, if the clinic then takes 5,000 grafts plus, you are deemed to be overharvested. So you see this happening in clinics in other countries where they just take way more than the person realistically needs. No one really knows why they do this, but from what I tied together, finasteride isn't approved in every country. So to overcompensate for not having a DHT blocker, they take more grafts and put it in the regression areas. So that way, once your hair does regress, you'll still have hairs there. So while this is overharvesting, it's misleading because it doesn't always equal bad, because it just depends. You can have great technicians and a great donor, and just because they take 5,000 grafts from the back of your donor does not mean it's going to look like a sandbox. Someone could have 6,000 grafts taken from their donor and it still looks amazing because they had great technicians. Someone can only get 800 grafts taken from their donor and it looks terrible because they had terrible technicians. And this is vice versa based on a weak donor and a strong donor. The other meaning, which I think is the more serious overharvesting, is when a clinic doctor or technician just did not perform their job well and left the person with bald spots, gaps, scars, and more that is nearly impossible to fix. Where someone has depleted the resource so bad in the area, it can't recover. This is another reason why it's extremely important to find the right clinic for you. Go on Google, watch videos, read through forums. Make sure you get the outcome you desire for the clinic you choose. Number 2, the power of Finasteride Minoxidil. Do not sleep on these medications, y'all. To this day, if I have one regret, it's not get on these medications earlier, man. I was in the same way y'all were, like, yo, I don't want to put that in my body. It has all these different things that's going on with it. I'm a walking proof of what those things could do to you based on the side effects. But man, it's one of those things where it's like the second best thing that I've done to regrow my hair right behind the transplant. Check out my crown. Comparing my crown to the first month to where it is now, it's completely filled in. I didn't even have any hairs transplanted here. Just been using finasteride, minoxidil, and rosemary and wild growth oil. I will stand beside these medications because they work, but they do come with side effects. If you've been watching my previous updates, you know I'm suffering from low libido when it comes to finasteride pill. It sucks. At this point, it's been 7 months. I've taken the finasteride before I got the hair transplant. It's been 7 months, and it's one of those things where it's just like, man, it doesn't feel good to have low libido. Now, this side effect is actually really rare for younger men. I just got the less than 1% chance of having like little to no libido, which is insane. But again, everybody's body is different. So depending on who you are and how you react to the medication, you can have no side effects or you can have the same side effects as me. That's why I'm thinking about switching over to the topical version of finasteride at my 1 year. Now for my research, the topical version works just as well as the pill. So it's not this huge difference. The only real difference is the side effects. With the topical version, the side effect of low libido is rare to none. So that's what I'm thinking. However, since the pill's been working so well, I don't want to mess anything up right now. Plus, I plan on getting a big afro. So I know when I'm trying to get the afro and trying to put the solution in my hair, it's going to be a task. My arm's going to be looking swole like Dwayne trying to do my hair. I ain't trying to have that. For the minoxidil pills, the side effects have been really minor. In the beginning, I did have like an increased heart rate and gas, but those subsided after a month. Now, the only side effect I'm having is excessive hair growth, which is not a big deal. Like, for instance, I had nose hairs and had hairs growing on my ear. Just trim those and I'm fine. They're very minor side effects. All this to say, you can use these medications and have no side effects, or you can use these medications and have all the side effects. Everybody's body is different, but in my experience, they do work in retaining and growing your hair. My boy Albert, he's a researcher, and he did a lot of research on zinc gluconate. Now, zinc is one of those minerals that we don't really get a lot of. It's one of those supplements that you definitely can look into. Now, he told me how zinc is something a lot of us lack because it's found in greens and seeds, which most people don't have in their diets. For instance, I just started eating vegetables again, and not just salads like spinach, kale, asparagus. Now, I completely understand this battle between natural versus medication. Now, anything is better than nothing. So you know what works well for your body and do that. If it's helping you regrow your hair, if it's helping you in other ways, do that. However, with certain things, you have to trust it or prove it yourself. There's this term, and I couldn't find it, but basically the example of it is, I cannot prove Jupiter exists. I can't show you Jupiter. I don't know where it's at. I've never seen it. However, I trust the people who tell me Jupiter is real, that they're truthful, and they know what they're talking about. You can be the one that use these natural remedies and see if they work for you. However, we know in science that finasteride and minoxidil works the best, And I have proved that to myself that those work better for me. But always do your own research. Only you know what's best for you. I always recommend Finasteride Minoxidil, but just use the topical versions. They have little to no side effects and they're not ingested, so they're not spread all throughout your body. You can also boost this with the natural remedies like rosemary oil, like different ingredients and supplements. You can use that as well to help regrow your hair and just be healthy. Number 1, loving yourself again. Ever since I started losing my hair at 20, I've been slowly but surely creeping into this box of like sadness and loneliness. And by August 2022, I was fully in that box. This past month, I've been outside. I've been going out every weekend, just been doing things, able to live life again. And I just been taking pictures because I've been so comfortable with my look. And I was just scrolling through my phone and I was shocked that I haven't taken a picture since August 2022 last year. No picture, not one picture of myself. Is just empty of no memories, nothing. A full year of not taking one picture. And like this happened last week. It hit me and I realized that I'm not even myself anymore. Like I didn't want to talk to people, didn't want to go out, didn't want to meet new people. Things that I have never had a problem with have just now become who I am. I would look in the mirror and hate the way I look. Like I would make faces of disgust, and that is a terrible way to feel about yourself. Today, I'm much happier where I am. I can look at myself in the mirror and finally smile. And that's such a drastic shift for where I was not even like 5 months ago. I'm finally able to live my life free and not have to worry about what's my hair look like. Let me get a hat so I can cover it up. And that's all because of the hair transplant. I am telling everyone, if you are on the fence about getting a hair transplant, do it. Get it. It is the best decision I have made in my life. I have been revived into this state of just loving myself again and learning who I am again and trying to figure out what life is like with hair with hair again, man. And it's been such a relieving experience of having such a huge weight on my shoulder of just this sadness looming over me. And now I'm so much better now, and I'm so happy because of it. Don't hop, skip, and jump into it now. Make sure you do your research, manage your funds, get the best clinic for you, and then go and do it. Take a minute to self-reflect. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I like the way my hair looks? If the answer is no, don't hesitate. Do it. Thank you all for watching. It's a little bit more of a theories video, but it's one of those things where I wanted to definitely tell people about my experience and the things that I wish I knew before I had got the hair transplant, and where I am now in this joyous moment where I'm like, man, shout out to the hair transplant community, man. Love and respect all y'all. So much knowledge, so much passion. It's like I've connected with so many people because of it, and it's just been an amazing time. But yeah, man, all growth 2023.